Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Joe Schaefer, Sarah Cowgill, Tim Donner, and Graham Noble. And this is the Conservative Five, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. It seems Joe Biden fractured his foot while playing with his dog. Let's face it, Biden's 78 years old, and if he's breaking bones with a twist of his ankle, makes you wonder if he could survive a tumble in the Capitol Rotunda or, God forbid, on the White House South Lawn. Seriously, with his cognitive ability already in question, will we be seeing Biden going back into hiding? Sarah, you've been very vocal on the health of our former vice president. Do you think there might be something other than forgetting where he is or remembering what his wife's name is at play here? In other words, is he failing physically? Isn't that a double whammy for Democrats, or was that the plan all along?
It could be the plan all along because, they were never going to be able to get a progressive woman of color in there without a white guy paving the way for her. And in another party, perhaps the GOP, that could have happened. It was not going to happen with the Democrats. They couldn't get a white woman in 2016 because they hated her so much. They couldn't get, anybody to step up to the plate. Everybody was having the most dismal numbers turning in, couldn't qualify for the Democratic primaries. And then they get this guy because, people know him. He has name ID. He's also 78. He looks like he hasn't eaten a hefty meal in probably 20 years. And for Frank's sake, he's pale, he's pasty. Gosh, go orange on us. I don't care, Biden, but you look like you're going to keel over any second now. And I think people need to worry about the health of that man. I don't think he's going to make it very long. And, we all know what can happen when a 78-year-old falls and breaks a hip. That's usually the end of the line. So what I'm saying is I don't think anybody cares on the Democratic side, but I think we ought to be looking out for this guy because he doesn't look good. He does not look well.
Sarah, he does sort of have a cadaver-like paste to his skin. Is anybody else?
Very pasty. He's Casper White. It's like of course, he's been sequestered in his basement for about a year, but other than that, still, there's, tanning booths. I don't know what to do with the guy, but the guy doesn't look well. And, frankly, he could throw a clot. I don't know. I'm just saying the guy doesn't look well and nobody seems to care about that.
The guy is the emptiest suit ever to reach the White House. He just is. In the entirety of the presidential campaign from the primary especially, and then onward to the general. I spoke to a lot of people who don't like Trump and were planning to vote for whatever Democrat. Not a single one of them, and I didn't even hear anybody on TV that said, Joe Biden, man, that guy, he's the answer to all of our problems. You want to talk about a generic candidate, you might as well have put up a cardboard cutout with a big D on it. And frankly, that might be more, shall we say, comforting than a guy who's not even at this level, but that you fear is slipping downward slowly but surely.
80 million people voted for that.
Yeah,
come on. Come on. Everything you just said, 80 million people voted for that.
But you have to put that in perspective too, Joe. 80 million people voted for Biden when 69 million only voted for Barack Obama at the height of his rock star status in 2008. He got 65 million in 2012. Hillary Clinton got the most popular votes with 65 million in 2016. And we're supposed to believe that Joe Biden shattered all of those records by far with 80 million votes for a guy for whom there was zero enthusiasm anywhere on the planet.
He's the shoehorn for a woman of color. Let's face it. That's the only way she was going to get there.
Yeah,
at least this year.
And when I look at her, she is Joe Biden being a woman of color. She's political machinery just like Biden. And even if Biden is tottering, she really isn't that much of a change. Biden's embraced radicalism just like she has in the past. The two of them will embrace pretty much anything if it gets them up one more step on the ladder. So, I look at them as really the same person at this point.
Well, I think Biden's probably going to be, I think there's no doubt he's going to be the most reclusive president we've possibly ever had, or at least since FDR maybe. And I think, I want to meet the person who honestly believes that Joe Biden has any chance of serving, assuming he serves a first term. I want to meet anybody who genuinely believes that he stands any chance of serving a second term, because for that person, I've got some nice beachfront real estate in Montana that I want to sell them.
All I can say is the man looks like Skeletor. He's bony, he's white, he's pale. He doesn't have a cognitive thought process that I can follow, and now he falls down. Seriously, this is the guy. This is the guy that we voted for. Is this the guy we voted for or what?
Well, I guess there's really not much else to say. We'll have to watch and wait and wonder whether he'll be able to kind of muddle through if indeed he is made president of the United States, which we don't know yet. So thanks, guys. Of course, we all wish Mr. Biden a speedy recovery and pray for no complications, but we have heard rumors he might be asking to trade up for a cat. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform, YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble. We're on them all. As well as Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all our TV productions. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember to surf on over to libertynation.com. Sign up for our new member zone, just $17.76 for a year. And remember, liberty all the time and everywhere.